Plaintiff Donna Sharp rented a house to the defendants. And she says after her horrible experience with them, she will never rent to anyone again. Donna claims she agreed to let the defendants have 3 dogs, and they ended up bringing 12 dogs into the home. And she's suing them today for an insurance deductible and cleaning services. Defendants Tracy Mish and her boyfriend Cade Renault say living in Donna's rental property was awful because she was constantly coming into their home unannounced. And they believe this lawsuit is just another way for her to harass them. They're countersuing for an illegal eviction and harassment.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I was a first-time landlord on this, and I probably will never be a landlord again. So I rented my property to Cade and Tracy. Things went fine.
When?
Oh, October 5th is when they moved in, 2013.
What was the rent?
$600 a month.
Okay.
Things were fine until around June. I tried to get them back to the original lease, and they signed a second agreement, but they never followed it.
I never signed
the lease.
Followed it.
Paper.
It was a new lease in June.
An agreement. I called both of them and asked them to meet with me. Cade is the only one that could meet with me. He signed the agreement. Really, the second agreement just takes them back to the original lease.
Why did you need a second agreement to take them back to the exact same first agreement?
They were, when we first talked, they said they had 3 dogs. They showed up with 5 dogs.
That's
and
a
the
lie.
2 dogs were the kids' dogs. So
What
I
did
said,
the first lease
okay,
say about dogs?
they could have dogs outside. It doesn't specifically say, we just verbally agreed.
So what did the second agreement say about dogs?
Well, they went from 5 dogs to 12 dogs.
No, I said, what did the second agreement say?
The second agreement says you will have 3 dogs and you will find the other
so
dogs
that
a
was
good
the
home.
difference between the first and the second.
And some others. Yeah.
Some other issues.
Yes.
Okay, let me allow you to give me some background.
First off, we are only here because she decided that this is okay to just continue to try to harass us and do whatever she can to...
Moved in October 5th?
Yeah, she wanted
What was it like?
Oh, it was terrible. She was there every weekend. Every holiday, she'd show up unannounced. She showed up one morning at 8, 9 in the morning and was complaining that we needed to plow the driveway when we had just plowed it the night before.
Okay.
But
what else you want me to know?
there was stuff that she promised to repair, like hot water heaters that never got done.
Okay.
She was out there yelling and screaming and taunting me, running. She went chasing me on the 23rd of June. Apparently, she had a piece of paper she wanted me to read. And she was chasing me down the driveway. She looked like an overstuffed turkey.
Why did she have to chase you?
I have no idea, because I was trying to walk to my vehicle where my children were.
Did she say, hey, I need to talk to you?
No. She just started chasing me down the driveway, screaming and hollering.
And you ran?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I didn't know what she was going to do.
Why didn't you turn around and ask?
Because I was afraid to. She had already started screaming and hollering, calling me a psycho, nuts, crazy.
Okay.
I was losing it.
Plaintiff Donna Sharp is suing her former tenants, who claim Donna was a horrible landlord. And this lawsuit is just another way for her to harass them.
Let's get on to the insurance deductible and cleaning service you're suing for, ma'am.
Okay. They had a fire on Labor Day. They never called me and told me they had a fire. I found out my mother lives in the same town.
You see it, please.
She had to call me.
You were going there every week. Why didn't you know? You were showing up. You were popping up every week.
In that article, it says that Tracy was cooking with oil. And
When you mentioned it to her, what did she say?
I called them. They never answered my calls.
Go ahead, ma'am. Tell me about this.
We put a kettle on the stove, and the burner never sat right, and it popped out of the plug and fell down.
So why don't you think you're responsible?
Because the fire got out of hand because there was no smoke detectors, CO2 detectors, there was no fire extinguisher, nothing to prevent.
That is a lie.
Or allow me.
Weren't you using it?
I had set it on the stove and had to
use
leave.
it?
Yeah, to leave.
What did the stove do?
Here's a couple of pictures. I don't know which ones you want.
Of what?
The stove and how the burners are sitting on there.
Okay,
This is
let's see 'em,
after the
please.
fire.
And this caused after the fire.
Yes, this is after the fire, so you can see every single one of the burners were like that.
Well, after there's a fire.
Yeah,
and the
they're
fire
looking like
department
that
comes.
after the fire. This says that you reportedly left the kitchen briefly
Yes.
and informed
Yes.
of the fire by one of two young children.
My
Your
son.
children had to inform you of the fire?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to conclude that you were negligent on that. The cleaning services, ma'am, what was that for?
In the winter, I very nicely let them put their dogs in the barn. They also bought a calf, and that was in the barn. I was very clear with Cade that I didn't charge them anything extra, that the barn had to be clean of any dog or cow refuse in the spring. He agreed both times that I talked to him about it, and it is not clean.
Okay,
I have pictures if you...
let's see it. Sir, ma'am, what do you want to tell me about cleaning the barn?
We were trying to get everything out of there and cleaned up, and in the meantime, she screwed the doors shut on the house, so I couldn't even get in to get my stuff.
You couldn't clean the barn?
I could have probably if I had the proper equipment to do it, but when everything is being thrown
Where was
at
the
us
equipment?
over at the new house, and every time
Your
I-
new house?
Yes.
So why couldn't you bring it from your new house to clean the
Because
barn?
she kept locking our stuff into
That's a
places
lie.
that she
Hold
did
on.
not have.
But you had it at the
She
new
kept
house.
locking us because our stuff
Hold
was
on,
coming
ma'am.
up
Those
missing.
we're talking two different things. Why couldn't you go to your new place, get your equipment, come back to the barn, and clean it?
Because I didn't have a vehicle running at the time. All
Okay,
our
well,
vehicles
why are
were
you
broke
just
down.
now saying that? You didn't have a vehicle at all?
To haul, no, not to haul the equipment over there for cleaning.
All right, your cleaning services, ma'am, I'm going to grant that too. Your counterclaim for illegal eviction and harassment, how did she do that to you?
She was stalking us. There's a picture of her wandering around our vehicle.
Tell me when she started. Tell me when
Sitting
she
outside
started.
of our dining room door listening in on our
Tell me when
conversation.
she started.
Around June 23rd.
All right. And tell me what she did June 23rd.
June 23rd is when she came out to the property and was chasing me down the driveway, ranting and raving.
And you never knew why on that day?
No, because at that point in time, she had already started problems prior to, and I said I was done dealing with her.
Okay.
She went behind my back with that extra paper and had him sign it, and I never even was notified of it.
And so when you saw her, you were scared she was going to get you?
Yeah.
What did you think she was going to do to you?
I have no idea, but
Okay. And you
I
called the
wasn't going to
police,
chance
obviously?
I have several
No,
occasions.
we're talking about June 23rd.
Yes.
That's the one I want to see.
think so.
That's the one that I'm sure is really important. You were so scared, you thought she was going to do so much to you that you fled. Wouldn't even talk to your landlord and see what she wanted. That's
Right
the
here.
one I want to see.
Right there.
Thanks.
What'd you tell the police on this? She chased me. Donna Sharp was on the property and wanted her to leave, and she is refusing to leave. Civil issue. Both advise. I don't see anything about you running.
I don't know why the police did not put it in there.
Oh, okay.
They
You
screwed up
saw
the
it.
name on some of the papers.
You read it.
I read that, yes.
Okay, and you didn't see that part,
No.
right? So
I
why
don't
didn't you ask
understand
the
why they
police
did
to
that.
add it? Because that's a very serious charge.
Honestly,
you
we
were
never seen
chased
that
under
paper.
fear for your life.
Well, I know why. She called the cops on me twice that day. So first she called the sheriff because she said I stole one of their 5 dogs.
Okay.
And the sheriff came out and they did not believe her.
Plaintiff Donna Sharp is suing her former tenants, who claim Donna was a horrible landlord. And this lawsuit is just another way for her to harass them.
Let's get to the illegal eviction. How did she illegally evict you? Maybe you'll have something there.
She screwed the doors shut
Okay. When?
on October 1st, I believe it was. Yes.
Okay. Tell me how that occurred.
I went over to retrieve some of my cleaning materials and stuff was missing and the doors were screwed shut from
Okay.
the inside. They actually put a screw from the inside of the door into the door frame, so we could not get through either of the doors that we normally use.
All right. And when you spoke to her about it, what did she say?
I never spoke to her about it
Okay.
because she doesn't answer the phone when
All
I
right.
call.
Ma'am?
So the day I supposedly chased her, I was giving her a 12-hour notice to inspect the property because I hadn't been in there in a while. This weekend, the doors were left wide open twice. And so I asked a family member, please go over on October 2nd.
First.
And please
Close the door?
just make sure everything's all right.
All you had to do is
So-
close the door.
Well, they agreed to leave on the 29th. Well, in front of the judge, they agreed to leave on the 22nd.
No, we're talking about nailing let's talk about that.
I did not nail the door shut.
You sent a
That's
family
why.
member
Family
over
member.
Quiet. You sent a family member
not.
over there.
Screw the
Ma'am,
door
talk
shut.
to me. You sent a family member over there?
Just to check
you
on
can
the
put
place.
that down. I'll let you know when I need it.
Okay.
You sent a family member over there?
Yes.
Did you speak to the family member about the door being nailed?
Afterwards, he told me that he screwed the door shut.
Okay, he was your agent. You sent him over there on your behalf. In the law, whenever you send someone to do work for you, you are responsible for what they do. Yeah.
I did not
send
tell
him
him
over
to
there
screw
to
the
check
door
on it.
shut.
I know, but he did, so you're responsible for what he does. You roll your eyes and twist your head, twist your behind if you want to, but I'm right and you're wrong. And your case is dismissed for contempt, and yours is granted. Now do it again.
Thank you, sir.
I'm glad they're off my property. Enjoy the $1,000 that you did not earn. You are
Just
low-life
like all the
people.
money that you
Low-life.
have screwed us out of the whole time.
I didn't screw you on anything.
Yeah, you
I'm a
did.
school
I am
teacher.
so happy
They are
she will be out of our
professional poor
life.
people. All
Yeah,
they do is go around and suck
A
off the...
professional teacher
tax
should
people.
know how to act around young
You
children.
screamed at me.
You screamed at me and called me all kinds of nasty names
You're nuts.
in front of a 10 and a 7-year-old.
You are crazy.
There you go. Once again, I'm the crazy
Get some
one,
mental
but
help.
you're the one that
Gotta go.
runs like a turkey up the driveway.
Are you owed money and don't know how to collect? If so, go to my website, askjudgemathis.com.